Now we shift focus to Nigeria. The West African nation is witnessing its worst economic crisis in a generation. People in Nigeria, which is Africa's most populous country, have been burdened by surging prices of food, fuel and medicine. The skyrocketing costs have made essential items out of reach for many. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has been facing heavy criticism for his economic reforms that people say deepened the trouble for them. And the government is borrowing more money to tackle this mounting crisis, but its priorities seem to be misplaced. Nigeria is on an airport building spree. Just last month, Zamfara, one of Nigeria's poorest states, held a ceremony to mark the beginning of construction of an international airport in the capital of Gusau. Now, typically, airports coming up in cities is a sign of economic and commercial development. But a key element is missing at many of these airports across Nigeria: the passengers. Nigeria already has 33 airports, and new ones have been springing up across the country in recent years. Out of these 33, all but 2 are entirely owned by federal or state governments. Now, there are also 13 airstrips, 4 military fields, and 128 sites with helipads. Now, this growth in aviation projects in Nigeria is starkly at odds with air passenger traffic. Just 3 out of these 33 airports accounted for 92% of all passenger journeys in 2022. As the number of airports increases, the number of passengers is diminishing. The number of journeys taken by air fell last year to 15.8 million, which was down from 16.1 million in 2022. In some regions, state governments have opened airports but are struggling to maintain them. Last year, the Ebonyi state spent around $24 million to build an airport. Months later, an additional $9 million was spent on repairing its barely used runway. In May this year, the federal government was forced to take over the facility. The Tinubu government defends these projects as social amenities for the people. But in reality, people of Nigeria are struggling to cope with the surging airfare. The fares have doubled in the past 3 years, and they are topped with multiple taxes and high service charges by government agencies. Both the Lagos and Abuja airports have a $100 per passenger service charge. This is one of the most expensive globally. Some analysts say that the rush to build airports is less about economic growth and more about political prestige. For President Bola Tinubu, it is both prestige and passion. He is one of the flying presidents of Africa. The Nigerian president has faced severe criticism over his frequent trips abroad. His alleged penchant for air travel is a contrast to the tough economic conditions at home. Slamming Tinubu, the opposition says that Nigeria does not need a tourist-in-chief. In the first 6 months of his presidency, Tinubu reportedly spent at least $2.2 million on domestic and foreign travel, 36% more than the budgeted amount for 2023. The Nigerian presidency has said that the trips are important for attracting foreign investment. But since aviation, airports and travel seem to be an area of interest for President Tinubu, can he manage to turn Nigeria's ghost airports into fully functional centers of economic growth?
Obviously today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alyson, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We'll start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Eric Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital,